Most people don't realize this, but their life is being quietly destroyed every single morning. Not in dramatic ways, not in obvious failures, but in small, repeated, invisible decisions. They wake up tired, they hit snooze, they scroll, they rush, they react, and before the day even begins, they've already lost control. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. There are people, right now, building discipline, wealth, clarity, and power, while you're still asleep. They are not more talented than you. They are not luckier than you. They just made one dangerous decision. They chose to win the morning. And if you understand what you're about to hear, you'll never look at your mornings the same way again. Welcome to Think in Pages, where books become power. This is not about waking up early to suffer. This is about taking back control before the world takes it from you. Hidden inside the 5 a.m. club is a brutal truth. Most people don't fail because they lack ability. They fail because they never build protected time to become unstoppable. And the morning is the most powerful weapon you're ignoring. If you're someone who wants discipline, clarity, confidence, and control, you're exactly where you need to be. Let's go deeper. The war before sunrise. Every morning, a silent war begins. No one sees it, no one applauds it, but it decides everything. The alarm rings, and suddenly 2 voices appear. One whispers, "Sleep more, you deserve it." The other says, "Get up, your future is waiting." This is not about waking up. This is about who wins control over your life. Because here's the truth most people avoid. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your habits. And that battle is decided in the first 5 seconds after your alarm. Think about this. A student wants success, but negotiates with the alarm. A man wants a better body, but delays action. A creator wants freedom, but chooses comfort. And slowly, their identity starts collapsing. Because every time you break a promise to yourself, you lose trust in yourself. And without self-trust, nothing works. But here's where everything shifts. The moment you get up at 5 a.m., when it's hard, when it's silent, when nobody is watching, you send a message to your brain. I am in control. That one decision builds something rare, self-respect. And once you taste that, you don't want to go back. But here's what most people still don't understand. Waking early is just the surface. The real power begins after that. The sacred first hour. Most people start their day like victims. They grab their phone. Notifications attack, bad news, comparison, stress. Before they even stand up, their mind is already overwhelmed. And then they wonder why they feel anxious, why they lack focus, why their day feels chaotic. But here's the truth nobody tells you. Your first hour is mental programming. It sets your emotional direction, your focus, your identity for the day. It is like wet cement. Whatever you place into it gets locked in. Now imagine this. Person A wakes at 7:30. Instant scrolling, random thoughts, rush, stress. Person B wakes at 5 a.m. Silence, clarity, movement, focus. By 9 a.m., one is surviving. The other is already winning. That's the difference. Not talent, state. If you control your state, you control your life. So here's your move. For the first 60 minutes after waking, no phone, no noise, no chaos. Instead, move your body. Sit in silence. Write your thoughts. read something powerful. This is not a routine. This is a shield. Few people protect their mornings. That's why few people build powerful lives. But here's where things get even more dangerous. The 20-20-20 weapon. Now we go deeper. Because discipline without structure usually fails. That's why this system works. It gives you a clear weapon. The 20-20-20 rule. Simple, but deadly effective. 3 parts, 20 minutes each. And if done right, this 1 hour can transform your entire identity. First 20. Move. You move. You sweat. You push your body. Why? Because movement changes everything. Your brain wakes up. Your mood shifts. Your energy spikes. You stop feeling lazy. You feel alive. Most people wait to feel ready. That's the trap. You don't wait for motivation. You create it. Second 20. Reflect. Now you slow down. You think. You write. You ask, what matters today? What am I avoiding? Who do I need to become? Because without reflection, life becomes reaction. And reaction keeps you average. Third 20. Grow. Now you feed your mind. Books, skills, ideas. This is where transformation compounds. Because every day, you become slightly smarter, slightly sharper, slightly more dangerous. And over time, that difference becomes massive. Let me ask you something. Be honest. Are you currently growing every day? Or just repeating the same day? Comment that. Because most people don't fail suddenly. They fade slowly. And this system stops that decay. But still, most people quit. And the reason is brutal. Why most people fail? Here's the truth. People don't fail because it's hard. They fail because they don't change identity. They say, I'm trying to wake early. No, that's weak language. Trying means optional. Instead, say, I am someone who leads my mornings. That's identity. And identity drives behavior. Another problem? They make mornings painful, cold, silent, forced. Of course they quit. You need to design it to be powerful. Add music, add purpose, add meaning. Make it something you look forward to. But here's the deeper issue. People are addicted to comfort, and comfort kills potential quietly, because comfort feels safe, but it steals your future. Discipline feels uncomfortable for a few hours, but regret lasts for years. And here's a line you should remember. Your comfort zone is where your potential goes to die. Most people won't accept that, but you're not most people. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. The confidence shift. Now this is where things get powerful. Because 5 a.m. is not just about productivity, it's about identity. People chase confidence everywhere. Money, looks, validation, social media. But real confidence comes from proof. Keeping promises to yourself. Every time you wake up early, you win. Every time you show up, you win. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you win. And those wins build identity. And that identity builds confidence. This is why some people walk into rooms without saying much and still command respect. Because they trust themselves, and people feel that. You don't need to be loud. You need to be aligned. And alignment is built in private. The invisible advantage. Here's something most people never understand. Success is often built through invisible advantages. Not luck, not connections, but habits nobody sees. 1 hour every morning equals 365 hours per year. That's 9 full work weeks. Now think long term. 5 years of that? That's a completely different life, a new skill, a new income, a new identity. Meanwhile, others say, "I don't have time," but they do. They just waste it. Controversial truth: most people are not busy. They are just undisciplined with their time. And discipline creates freedom. That's the irony. The more structure you build, the more free you become. The emotional reset. Now, let's get real. Because sometimes the problem isn't laziness. It's pain, failure, rejection, confusion, feeling behind. And when that happens, people escape. Late nights, scrolling, distractions. Then mornings become heavier, and slowly they lose themselves. But here's where 5 a.m. becomes powerful. It becomes a reset, a signal. I'm not done. Even when life feels messy, you wake up. Even when you feel lost, you show up. And slowly, you rebuild yourself. Sunrise has a strange effect. It reminds you that darkness always ends. If you're going through something right now, start small. One morning, then another. That's how people rebuild their lives. The final rule. Now listen carefully, this is important. Waking at 5 a.m. is not the goal. Becoming powerful is the goal. If waking early makes you exhausted, fake productive, or miserable, you miss the point. The real lesson is own your time. Because if you don't, the world will. Social media will, work will, noise will, people will. And suddenly, your life isn't yours anymore. So whether it's 5 a.m. or 6 a.m., protect your mornings. Use them to build health, skill, focus, peace, wealth. Because most people want success without becoming the person success requires. Don't be that person. And now, you've unlocked something most people never will: control over your mornings. But here's the problem. Waking up early means nothing if your mind is still distracted, scattered, and weak. Because the real battle is not waking up. It's staying focused when everything is trying to break your attention. And this is where most people collapse again. They win the morning, but lose the day. Notifications pull them, distractions drain them, shallow work traps them. And slowly, they fall back into the same life they tried to escape. So if you're serious about changing your life, the next step is not optional. You need to learn how to protect your focus like your life depends on it. Because in today's world, focus is more valuable than talent, and the people who master it control everything. That's why your next move should be understanding deep work. And once you combine that with what you learned today, something powerful happens. You don't just wake early. You start building a life most people can't even imagine. And if habits are your weak point, then what comes after this might hit even harder. Most people will watch this, feel motivated, and tomorrow, they'll go back to the same life, same alarm, same excuses, same habits. Nothing changes. But a few people won't. A few people will wake up before the world gets loud. They'll move, they'll think, they'll grow. And day by day, they'll become someone unrecognizable, stronger, sharper, more focused, more dangerous. Because here's the truth. Your life is not controlled by big moments. It's controlled by what you do, when it's quiet, when it's hard, when nobody is watching. And tomorrow morning, you'll face that moment again. The alarm will ring, and in that second, you'll decide something much bigger than waking up. You'll decide who you are becoming. So choose carefully, because 1 year from now, you won't wish you slept more. You'll wish you started earlier. If you're someone who refuses to live an average life, if you want discipline, focus, power, and control, then this channel is built for you. Subscribe to Think in Pages, where you don't just read ideas, you become them.